Let's get into the latest Kawhi Leonard rumors. First up, are the Spurs ready to move on? Yes, they are. Feel pretty good about this. Mark Stein of the New York Times reported league sources say the Spurs are indeed ready for the post-Kawhi Leonard era. And by the way, happy birthday to Kawhi Leonard. Turns 29 today. And Mark Stein added, it doesn't guarantee Kawhi will go to the Lakers because, quote, San Antonio could always trade him elsewhere or drag things out. So the Spurs have had trade talks with the likes of the Lakers and the Celtics and the 76ers. And, of course, the Celtics have the assets desired by the Spurs in a potential trade. They include the following: Kyrie Irving, Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. These guys are core players for the Celtics, but also could be traded to the Spurs if it means that Danny Ainge, the GM there, gets Kawhi Leonard. You know what would be the smartest thing, though? If you're the San Antonio Spurs leadership right now, you drag this on as long as you possibly can. Because if you're San Antonio, you have the leverage. The Celtics don't. Kawhi doesn't. The 76ers don't. It's you, the Spurs. You can just sit back. Make LeBron James make that decision tonight without knowing the future of Kawhi Leonard. Let the team sweat it out. Let the Celtics sweat it out. Let the Lakers sweat it out. Let the 76ers do the same thing. Let Kawhi Leonard get to the point where he's like, screw it. I'll do whatever. Just trade me. So, mic check and numbers check here on Kawhi Leonard. Turning 27 today, not 29. I did, when I was saying that, I was like, wait a minute, 29 years old? I didn't really believe that in my head. But he's turning 27, so happy birthday to Kawhi Leonard. But if you are the Spurs, like, what is the rush? I understand that the Lakers are moving very quickly now, but if you are not totally enthused with what the Lakers are offering, why do you accept the trade today? Because then you eventually have LeBron James sitting here and being like, okay, well, what the heck is going on with Kawhi? LeBron is going to have to make his decision tonight. Let's say he opts out. That is the expectation for LeBron. And he goes into tomorrow morning not knowing the future of Kawhi Leonard. Then LeBron James is like, well, crap, what do I do? Kawhi, what's the deal? Kawhi's going to be like, dude, I don't know, because the Spurs are dragging this out. So if you are the Spurs, you obviously have the leadership as we stand. Let it ride and get to the point where supply and demand just absolutely goes wild, where demand just rapidly increases and the 76ers or the Spurs, or excuse me, the Celtics or the Lakers offer up some sort of treasure chest, Godfather offer, if you will, for Kawhi Leonard, and the Spurs totally win the trade. So you just have to get to a point where it becomes desperation mode for the likes of the 76ers, the Celtics, or whatever the case may be. And so that's how I think the Spurs should play this. Now, we could very well have a story today that Kawhi Leonard is being traded to the Lakers, to the Celtics, to Philadelphia, whatever. But I think the more likely scenario, we hear about LeBron James opting in and out first before any sort of Kawhi Leonard news comes. That's my prediction there. All right, so let's talk about the Celtics. Are they not getting Kawhi Leonard? So the Boston Herald is reporting that the Spurs and Celtics had discussions, but no real negotiations in terms of Kawhi. Now, the Herald added that the Celtics haven't received assurances from Leonard himself that he actually even wants to play for the Boston Celtics. And you got to keep an eye on the likes of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but they actually haven't even been included in any offers from Boston. Now, the Boston Globe added the Celtics are taking a, quote, conservative approach in their discussions. So you have the Lakers going nuts right now with trying to get a trade done because they want LeBron too. Then you have the Celtics just kind of taking an easygoing approach. So just kind of summarize so far what is going on. The Lakers are going crazy trying to get a deal done. The Celtics are taking a conservative approach, not necessarily naming players, and the Philadelphia 76ers are kind of in that mid-tier. And I'll talk about Philly and I'll talk about LA in a matter of seconds here. We'll actually have a trade proposal that has been reported about the 76ers. But if you're Boston, like I've said on this program before, you're rolling the dice on Kawhi Leonard and acquiring him because he's going to be a free agent in 2019. What if he doesn't want to play in TD Garden for the 2020 campaign? What if he wants to go back and, fulfill that dream of being in LA? And so if you're Boston, you gave up a bunch of either picks or solid core players for what? 1 year of Kawhi Leonard and losing to the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, or the LA Lakers in the NBA Finals? I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. Same can be said for the 76ers, too. What if Kawhi doesn't want to play for the 76ers? What if he does want to go back to LA and play there? LA, of course, being a home area for him. It's a roll of dice. It's a risk. So keep that in mind. Now, speaking of the Lakers, do they have a Godfather offer for the San Antonio Spurs? So the USA Today is reporting that the Lakers have made a Godfather offer. That is the actual phrase for Kawhi. It's reportedly an offer they can't refuse, and the newspaper adding, it has other teams wondering if they can even compete with the Lakers for Kawhi Leonard. So I think it was like a week and a half ago or so that I said on this program that do not rule out the Los Angeles Lakers and their ability to acquire Kawhi Leonard, because everybody has a price. And if LA goes to San Antonio with a blank check, I'm telling you, it's not going to matter where that offer is coming from. If it's LA, if it's Boston, if it's Philadelphia, the Spurs are going to do it. And in this case, it seems like LA is the team that is offering the most. So we're going to bring up the Rubenstein trade machine. Shout out to Harris Rubenstein. He'll be on later tonight with our free agency special. Here is one Godfather offer that could go down. So San Antonio gets Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, Luol Deng, a 29 first-rounder, future first-rounder unprotected, while the Lakers receive Kawhi Leonard. Now, Ingram and Kuzma have kind of been at the center of discussions here, although that has been refuted by other media outlets out there, but it would not be surprising to see Brandon Ingram a part of these discussions, to be honest with you. And Luol Deng, his contract is really not the best in the world, so that's not a shocker either. So that's one possible Godfather offer where we could see Kawhi Leonard in the purple and gold right there. Now, another potential trade that could go down, Lonzo Ball could be involved. Now, there was a recent report that maybe Lonzo isn't going to be dealt and that the Spurs really don't want the whole LeVar Ball situation. Well, this is just a potential offer, and again, these are offers. Does not mean it's actually going to happen, actually going to be accepted. So you got Kuzma, Hart as well, Luol Deng, 2019 first and a future first, and of course Kawhi Leonard going to the Los Angeles Lakers as well. So LA has the space to add Kawhi as well as signing two max players like LeBron and Paul George to make a big three. Financially possible. They can get Kawhi and they can have PG-13 and LeBron James. They got to get rid of Deng's contract. It is brutal. Get rid of it. But if they do, and maybe Julius Randle, by the way, is involved with these trades too, so kind of ponder that as we talk about Kawhi here. The LA Lakers will be a legit NBA title contending team if they have that three. And by the way, say goodbye to the Eastern Conference because nobody's going to care. Because Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Paul George are going to be on the same team. And I remember a YouTube commenter was like, well, dude, only one of those players is actually going from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference. Well, yes, I know that. But now you have a bigger concentration of those three guys on one team. And that's what I mean. Like, bye-bye Celtics and 76ers. You guys can have fun in your Eastern Conference playoffs and Eastern Conference finals, because those two will meet. And you can have fun battling it out, but when you play the Lakers, the Warriors, or even the Houston Rockets, not even going to matter because you're going to lose, and that's what's going to happen. So Lakers are moving fast on Kawhi. That is the report out there coming from Woj that obviously the Lakers have limited time to talk to the Spurs about a Kawhi deal because, well, Paul George has a decision to make in free agency. He opted out. LeBron James has a decision to make in terms of if he is going to opt in or out. He has until 11:59 to do it. And the Lakers are, of course, highly motivated to trade for Kawhi for several reasons. They feel, or reports indicate, that getting Kawhi means getting LeBron James. And I have said on this very program, separating fact from fiction, I don't think that is absolutely true. I think LeBron James will do what LeBron James wants to do. And Kawhi, of course, wants to play for the Lakers. That, I think, is a fact. And Kawhi has expressed interest to sign with LA, perhaps in the 2019 free agency period, too. If, indeed, he does not go to LA this summer, he has reportedly expressed interest in going to LA in 2019. And if you're Boston or Philadelphia, like I said, by the way, why take the chance? But maybe he falls in love with those teams. Who knows? Now, the Spurs want a treasure chest of assets here. And I talked about how the Lakers can't provide that. The Celtics can't provide that. The 76ers can also provide that as well. And I'll get to the 76ers in a matter of moments here. But the Lakers are willing to trade Brandon Ingram. That is one of the reports from ESPN, which has also been refuted by other media outlets out there. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Ingram is part of these discussions because he's a core player for LA, a young player, somebody that the Spurs would want on that team, moving on from a Kawhi Leonard era. Now, any Lakers-Spurs chatter has been fairly conceptual to this point. Yes, some players' names have been thrown around. It's not like the Celtics. The Celtics, more of general discussions, general negotiations. The Lakers have been a little more detailed, and the 76ers have been very detailed in terms of actually naming some players here. Now, Stephen A. Smith yesterday said that Kawhi has concerns of playing in LA with LeBron James. Now, keep this in mind. This is Stephen A. Smith saying earlier that perhaps Kevin Durant and LeBron James would be teaming up, or at the very least, were texting. That has been refuted by Brian Windhorst and Cleveland.com and me. And so Smith said it has nothing to do with LeBron James as a person or as a basketball player, but Kawhi doesn't want to create a paparazzi-like atmosphere. I'm sorry, what? Stephen A., he wants to go play in LA. Can anybody reason with me in the comments section here in terms of why Stephen A. reported that? Like, you want to go play for the LA Lakers. That is paparazzi land. That is like where you don't go if you don't want paparazzi. I mean, LeBron or not, you're going to be facing the cameras, the bright lights, the flashes, the red carpets, all of that stuff. The people.coms and all of this. Like, go to Sacramento if you don't want the paparazzi. So this rumor just made me go, Like, Stephen A. Smith, a couple of weeks ago, by the way, was like, Kawhi Leonard's going to LA. Kawhi wants to be in LA. He doesn't care about the Supermax contract that he can get with the Spurs. Kawhi's going to LA. And then yesterday, he's like, as you see on your screen, Kawhi ain't built that way. I'm just like, guys, we are in peak NBA rumor season where even individuals are saying two different things. And I'm not blaming Stephen A. Smith because he is perhaps reporting what he is hearing, right? And he's talking to sources and all of that, and I understand that. But to avoid a paparazzi scene would mean not to go to LA. And we know that Kawhi Leonard wants to go play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Smith says, and this is an interesting quote, that Kawhi just wants to, quote, grab his lunch pail, go to work, and go home. You don't do that in LA. you grab your lunch pail, you go to work, and then you do an interview or hang out with the celebrities like Tom Cruise and all these people and Scarlett Johansson and whoever he hangs out with. Like, LA has a lot more baggage to it than just go to work, go home, sleep, rinse, repeat. There is a lot more to the puzzle than just that if you're playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. That is just a fact. All right, so interesting little rumor there. Going to talk about the 76ers here, but first, you're watching The Cam Rogers Show here on Chat Sports Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live. We are presented by AutoList. Are you looking for a new or used car out there, tired of browsing a million sites? Go to Autolist.com to browse the largest source of inventory on the web or download their top-rated mobile app for iPhone or Android today. Frankie in comments, LA is a party life. That's exactly what I'm saying, Frankie. Keep hitting me up in comments. I'll give you guys some shout-outs. Let's talk about the 76ers now. Are they going to acquire Kawhi Leonard? So, interesting report yesterday from Jake Fisher of Sports Illustrated saying that the 76ers have actually discussed trade packages for Kawhi. And we'll flash a trade that has been reported as well, including the likes of Saric in Covington and first-round selections. Let's not forget, though, that Markelle Fultz could be a part of the conversation as well. So, in terms of the 76ers, this is the reported trade offer. This is not my trade offer. This is not Harris's trade offer either. 76ers get Kawhi. The Spurs get Saric in Covington, good defensive player, and a first-round pick. Could be that unprotected 2021 first-round pick that the Sixers got from the Miami Heat. That could be part of the package here. The report did not really indicate what first-round pick it was, but it is a first-round pick. And although Kawhi wants to go to the Lakers, Fisher said Kawhi could be open to a major market like a Philadelphia or like a Boston via a trade. But as I've mentioned on this program, it's a roll of the dice. Would Kawhi want to re-sign with the 76ers or Boston Celtics after the 2019 season, or once 2019 offseason period happens, and maybe Kawhi and LeBron team up in Philadelphia? Take a look at those jerseys there. I don't know. They look pretty good. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Kawhi and LeBron going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is going to be the team that gets one of these all-stars, one of these premier players, but they're like option C. Like, LA, I could see getting LeBron. LA, I could see getting Kawhi. And then the 76ers are like, well, crap, okay, we'll get Paul George. Like, that's how I see Philadelphia kind of being a part of this equation here, is that they're kind of like the last piece of all of this. Now, you take a look at the Kawhi Leonard odds here. Lakers, obviously the favorite. The Spurs, perhaps they can retain him if they repair things in that relationship. Cleveland Cavaliers, have been some reports out there that the Cavs are trying, but they just don't have the assets. I'm not throwing any money down on the Cavs. And then the Celtics and 76ers. Now, we've got Nate chiming in the comments section saying that the Sixers need to add Zaire Smith to the deal, and I'll take Kawhi to the airport myself. Great comment, Nate, because I do think Zaire Smith could be a part of this equation. I mean, why else would they trade Mikal Bridges, right, Nate? I mean, that's kind of the logic there, is that, okay, the 76ers are trying to create this asset package, if you will, for the likes of the San Antonio Spurs to make a Kawhi Leonard deal happen. So appreciate that comment. Keep hitting me up here on Chat Sports, Facebook Live, as well as YouTube Live. All right, so Jake Fisher also has this report out there that Kyrie Irving could be involved in a trade with Kawhi Leonard. That is a report out there. That is not coming from me. It is coming from Sports Illustrated. So the idea is that the Celtics, of course, have Kyrie, who is going to become a free agent next season. So they do away with him now. They get Kawhi Leonard, whom they think they can extend after this season. and then all will be right with the world. I'm trying to reason through this, and I just can't, guys, because I don't think this is going to happen. I just don't. Like, that would mean Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics are more confident that they can extend Kawhi Leonard than Kyrie Irving, and I just don't think that is the reality of the situation. I think Boston is more confident in extending Kyrie rather than Kawhi. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something that's going on in the back channels that say otherwise. I mean, could you really see the Celtics trading Kyrie Irving? Now, sometimes you can't underestimate Danny Ainge and what he can do. Just look at the Isaiah Thomas situation that went down with Boston. So hit me up in comments and let me know what you think about that. But the Celtics, have been considered the favorites as the Eastern Conference victors for 2018 to 2019 and that season. The Spurs' preferred trade target is actually Jason Tatum, according to reports out there. So kind of ponder that. And like I've said, the Celtics have been very conservative with their trade discussions. So the idea that Kyrie Irving is a part of all this, I think, is kind of crazy. So to see him get traded would be insane, but also in a way not so surprising because Danny Ainge will do what Danny Ainge really wants to do. So we'll see. The future of Kawhi Leonard very much up in the air still here on the Cam Rogers Show.